Good morning, everyone. It's Yvonne back to do your bonus read. What's cracking read has got my brain thinking all sorts of things now. I was like, okay, I've never looked at it from that perspective before. I've always been sort of stuck in the idea of people being who they are, not being able to change. And I think, maybe I'm looking at it all wrongly. Put another window to my world there this morning. So I love doing this stuff. It opens me up all the time. I'm never the same person I was. I know I'm not. I know I'm a very different person to what I used to be. The core parts of me haven't changed. My heart is still really big. I love, and I'm just more expressive now, I guess, than I used to be. I used to feel the love. Oh my goodness, I always felt the love, but I never knew how to express it. So I think, when I look at how I've changed over the years, I've become much more comfortable at being me. I live in my truth now. I don't pretend anymore. I don't never try to be anybody I'm not. So for me, it's been really learning how to get to my core. And I still attribute the biggest turnaround for me with Eckhart Tolle reading his book, The Power of Now, because I suffered very badly with panic attacks and really bad anxiety. I never really understood that until I started watching The Spartan Coach and understood the journey of narcissism and growing up with narcissism and the CPTSD, the overlaying PTSD that you never leave behind. So in amongst all that, I was studying. I was so hungry to study. I had so many certificates and diplomas and degrees, and I just kept trying to widen my search, trying to find what was inside of me. And it wasn't until I really embraced my spirituality, because it had always been there. Even as a child, I remember seeing ghosts but being so terrified of what they were because I didn't really understand. And I think when I look back at all of that, I think the journey was necessary because I really had to learn to let go of the stuff I'd been taught, my ego. But now I feel really complete and really whole. That's why I wanted to start sharing it with others, because so many people, when I speak to them, have been on a journey that almost aligns with mine. And that to me is freaking amazing, really. So when people come and talk to me about stuff, a lot of the things I talk back to you about come from my own experiences and from learning from other people, because I don't stop learning. I just don't have that hole inside my gut now where I needed to fill it with all the things I thought I needed to fill it with to become a better person. I don't have to do that anymore. So self-acceptance and self-love has been huge for me, huge. But anyway, rabbiting on, we are using the Thelema Tarot, and I do have the Sun coming out here. So the Sun is a card of joy and happiness. It talks about everything being right in your life, everything being where you need it, having everything you want, feeling very childlike and feeling able to approach the world with a very different attitude. Sorry, I got a frog. And moving forward in a very positive way. You do have someone here, possibly an earth sign, who has an offer for you here. It doesn't feel like an offer of love. This feels like some sort of offer of peace here. And I always feel this Page of Pentacles is very karmic. So this could be some sort of gift that somebody's going to give you here that brings forth this feeling of absolute joy and happiness, because he's got some sort of gift here. And it's the gift of love. How interesting. Okay, and we do have the Six of Cups, so it is something to do with your past here. Could be a family member. You have a decision whether to take this or not. Somebody from your past. Now, I know that everybody jumps to the, I don't want anybody from my past. Well, okay, that's fine. Let's not go there today. This could be a family member, a friend. It's someone who's a soulmate, who's actually taught you how to find a part of yourself. So when we're soul retrieving and trying to pull back what we've given away over our lifetime, this person's been able to teach you about that. I feel strongly that it's a family member or a friend here that you may not have spoken to some time. But whatever happened in the past, I feel like they set you on a little bit of a different journey, and this has helped you to bring in this. And they've done it through being able to give you a gift. Now, this is not always easy to explain, but this person may have, just given you a serve. They may have yelled and screamed at you. They may have told you, things that you didn't want to hear. They may not have been nice to you at all. But whatever this was that they did has opened you up. You've learned something new here. So in effect, they've been some sort of soulmate here because they've taught you a lesson through what they've known. So it's quite interesting to see that. I think that sometimes, it's like, me, I always talk about the lessons that you've got to learn with things. And even when someone's been horrible, nasty, doesn't matter what's happened, a really bad situation, whatever, it's like taking from that what you've learned. So even if it's about learning about loving yourself, loving someone else, understanding your place in the world, how you can work with that, when we're in the victim mode, we immediately look at, well, that person hurt me, so I don't want anything more to do with them. And you just become a victim mentality. But what you need to do is stop sometimes and go, well, hang on a moment, that was a really nasty situation. What they said to me wasn't really nice at all, and it's hurt me really badly. But in the hurt and the pain, what have you gained from that? Even if it's a strength to say that you are not the person they think you are, then it sets you off on a journey of understanding who you are. So this is the sort of thing that's happened here. Somebody's gifted you with something that may not have been nice at the time, but it's forced you to look at yourself in a very different light here. Nice. Okay, so I have the Three of Pentacles here. So the Three of Pentacles did come out in the What's Cracking reading. This is about working on something with someone. The Three of Pentacles talks about project work, business, your own business, that type of thing. Okay, Four of Cups coming out here. Four of Cups talks about we know the Four of Cups. I joke about this one all the time. Not accepting an offer, being bored with the status quo, not wanting to take something because it just looks like everything you've always had, so you're refusing an offer here. Two of Wands came out in the What's Cracking too. So choosing a different pathway through this approach. Boy, we do have the Tower here. I sort of felt like that was coming in. Okay. The Tower talks about breaking down old constructs. Looking at what you've learned and understanding that in order to move forward, you now have to do this in a completely different way. And that sort of goes back to the What's Cracking reading a little bit too, because it's like, I said, when you look at people and you see them in one light and you don't give a person an opportunity to show that they've changed. And I can hear people standing there going, they'll never change. They'll never be any different. I can hear it already. So please, I do understand if you feel that way. That's victim mentality. Having an open mind means that even if they haven't changed and they're pretending to change, you at least give them the opportunity. And that's what the Tower is here. Learning to see things differently. Okay, the Eight of Pentacles here. So you're definitely working with somebody on something here. Definitely. Four of Pentacles here. So this is about you working on things that you can change here rather than hanging on to them. Never have fixed ideas. Fixed ideas are a human way of thinking. You're a soul having a human experience. You have to separate your spiritual self from your human self to understand what you're hanging on to is your human stuff. You have to just accept to move through this because you need to work on something here. Knight of Wands coming in here, very interesting. Could be dealing with a Leo, Sag or Aries here. Or this could be a person. This could be a person who has not committed in the past. I always talk about the Knight of Wands being the card of, the fling, the one night stand. And it's just brought back a little memory for me too. This is about something that you've had with someone that perhaps you didn't think was going to go into long term because of your past ideas. Okay, very interesting. All right, Eight of Cups, walking away because you don't have emotional satisfaction. The Chariot here, so the universe is moving you towards something here. Okay, and this is about your intuition. Now, I know that that reading before was very strongly about trusting your intuition. So let's just open this little fellow up. Oh, you've got an Ace of Wands behind that. I just asked to look behind it. Ace of Wands. There's a brand new start here. You're trying to get out of an old cycle here to have a brand new start. You want to work on something, but you're unsure of whoever this is that you want to work with is serious about what they're saying. And this comes back, this is a continuation of what's cracking, because it comes back to the idea that someone can't transform. So say, for example, in the past you've dealt with someone who was a player. You may have had a one-night stand with them, you flipped out, fell crazily in love with them, and that was it. They ghosted you, never saw them again. This, to me, signifies not so much a person, but more a situation. So in the past, you may have been the type of person to believe that a person like this couldn't change. A player can't change. Someone who isn't able to commit because of what they've been taught in their own childhoods. It's all about abandonment issues. So if you want to work out why a player's a player, go and look at abandonment issues, because they're like that because of the way they were treated as a child. Now, I'm not making excuses for people, because we can fix it. But like everybody else, we have all of this backlog from our childhood that we are continuously working on to become better people. So there's something here, some sort of situation, could be a person that has acted in a certain way because they didn't know any different. They were used to the same way of going. Somehow this person has changed. This person has changed because they've walked away from something here. They have let go of the past. They want to work on something. They're very strong about moving forward. Their intuition here is now on point. So I feel like this person has gone from being very narrow-minded, very unopen, very stuck and fixed in their ideas, to becoming someone who is very spiritual, very highly evolved, very in tune with the universe. They're vibrating much higher. So this person you were dealing with that you thought you'd left in your past, you'd left behind, has evolved greatly here. Now again, we're not talking all about love. This can be about someone you know, a family member. The thing is, something is happening here to break down your ideas of how you see things. This is huge because it's going to knock you off your feet here. This is a big one. Because you are seeing things in a completely new light here. This person has gone from being, you know, for example, I'm only using it as an example so you can understand. This person has gone from being like a total player, womanizer, you know, not able to commit, treating people really poorly, into having their own awakening here. And they're coming back as the High Priestess. This is huge. So don't discount when they come back, because what you're going to do is you're going to still see them as this. And that's what the universe is saying. You know, in order to move down a different pathway, in order to not go down that pathway, don't look at the Four of Cups and refuse it purely because it looks like what you got before, because it ain't the same. Wow. Two readings, very, very similar. One sort of backs up the other one. That is amazing. Oh, I can't. Sometimes I can't even. I can't. I just think, wow, Spirit is amazing here. This is going to bring great joy in here. This person has given you this gift. They are some sort of soulmate, okay? There's someone you've met in the past. Could be family, could be... You've got a decision here on whether you move forward with this person. For those people who are looking for love, you've got a decision now. Do you move forward and trust that they are now the High Priestess and that they've left the Knight of Wands behind? because for some of you it's going to be very difficult. So we have the card of birth coming out here, and it says universal energy brings you opportunity and possibility. Universal energy. This is what we're talking about. Thanks, everyone.